both had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Shake hands. Good luck.
Well, the referee having to separate the pair of them before they get it on, and I was watching Katachikov snarling at Podisov across the ring. He was really looking forward to getting this on, and from Madison Square Garden to York Hall, it all comes alike to my co-coms tonight once again. Welcome back, Barry Jones.
I would say it's nice to be back, but let's just get on with the fight, mate.
Looking forward to seeing this guy, Katachikov, one of the merry band of Kazakhs, signed up with MTK. And Barry, his win last time up, there was just a little hint of Golovkin about it. The way he rolled the right hand and really did turn it into the temple. It was almost like the shot that did for Rubio once upon a time. It really was amazing.
With that lifting your elbow up and chopping down, that horrible. You have to have natural power with good left hook there from Katachikov.
Yeah, well, he's only got the 4 stop, but that was just the 4th in his 8 so far. But it could just be with this sort of first assignment for MTK. There's no doubt that he's been slightly wasted over the last couple of years. It's only his 3rd fight in the last year and a half plus. So it's time that he got busy, settled down to business. And I suspect that's part of the look that he's bringing into the ring tonight.
But he's settled right down to business here, hasn't he? He's nice and relaxed, but again, everything he throws, he lands with. Again,
they see that left hand.
Well, what you try and do, you try and punch with the front 2 knuckles, the first 2 knuckles. So you have to turn your wrist when you throw a punch, but obviously, you very rarely get that. But you see these Kazakhs, they really turn right over and they want to hit that right because it obviously generates that power. It's obviously the bones are longer, so it helps from breaking your hands. That's one thing, and also it generates the power into a smaller space, which makes it more dynamic.
Well, it was the right hand that did for Peter Gudel, a lower grade fighter in truth, but that was last month in Poland. That was the first fight for some 6 months for Katachikov. But he kind of rolled over the right hand there, and we just saw him try it with the left hook a minute or so ago. So a little bit of creativity from him through the first round.
Yeah, he just had a little skip around there, but I don't think he needs to. I think I don't want to give Podisov here any sort of momentum to come forward and get himself back into the fight. Just keep what you're doing for Katachikov there. Nice upper body movement, pushing him back with a solid jab. He doesn't need to give any ground. I think he's better going forward like this. Still got the awareness there, take a little half a step back, make the other guy miss.
Just clipped with a little left hand that came back from Podisov. Beat Matty Fagan once upon a time over here, 4 or 5 years ago, over 6 rounds. No doubt this is a step up, I think, a step back up in class for him. Oh, I think the heads came close together there. Yeah. There's a blemish, more than that, on the right eye of Katachikov. That was right at the end there, and I think that's turned into a cut for him.
It looks nasty as well, I've got to be honest, Alex. Right on the corner of the right eye there for Katachikov.
And it was right at the end of the round. There you can see the mopping. It sort of looked like a graze, and suddenly you can see it's not more than that.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as I thought. They look really bad. There's a pretty clean cut there, so I think something they can work on quite comfortable. If they got a guy who knows how to work the cuts, but they don't.
Referee just watching the referee in between rounds. He did spot that. He's just telling them both about the heads, and he's gone across just to make everyone aware ringside as well that was a clash of heads. So that's good. I didn't think he spotted it live, but he's picked that up. There's some good stuff to pick up there, Barry, in the first round.
From any part of the round, really. I think he showed some lovely balance, good shot selection, and a decent power without losing. Have some decent power in some of those shots. Obviously, no, the referee has said there was an accidental clash of heads. If he can't continue before 4 rounds, it's obviously a technical draw, and anything after, it'll go to points.
In the first, scheduled for more than that, of course. A little bit of the Liam Walsh about him in terms of look and physique. Oh, little clip. Podisov is coming back with a bit of intent.
It's funny, little bit of sight of blood can really give you a little bit of a bit of a boost, mentally and physically.
Many felt they've just giving Katochikov too much respect in that first round.
And also he may be thinking it's a way that he can win the fight, if he or certainly get a draw if he can get it, if he can make that cut any worse in the next 2.5 rounds.
Yeah, and also if it is to go to the cards after, maybe he's thinking, realising he needs to make a bit of an impression on the scores himself. And so far he's probably doing that in the second round.
Nice little flurry there from him.
Well, he's unbeaten in a couple of years. In late 2016, he went up to Aberdeen to face local man Darren Traynor. He's retired by his corner after 8 rounds. Traynor, who's been in the likes with Ryan Walsh and also James Tennyson as well, stopped by the pair of them. Oh, nice right hand. And this will sort of test the mettle, I think, of Katochikov. He's going after Kudasov's. He might have just hurt him.
Needs to bring it up for the middle now.
Look at him trying to raise. Oh, he's still mauling him. Fair play. He was being held and he's just trying to maul him while he was doing that. I'm always in favour of fighters kind of, in a sense, taking the law into their own hands there.
That's a nice little left uppercut from Katochikov there, but he needed to do that on a little onslaught. He needed to punch right through the centre of the guard.
Oh, lovely body shot. I'm really enjoying the way he's throwing those Golovkin-esque left hands, where he is raising the elbow and trying to sort of chop down while twisting the inside knuckles.
He's rubbing that cut though, it's not going to make it any better for him.
Just a bit of swelling under that eye too now, Barry. His defence is imperfect, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, but with offensive fighters, you're always going to get that though. I think he lacks the respect for any power here from Kudasov, and he's happy to march forward. But what he is showing here, Katochikov, there is really good balance.
Only been stopped twice, Kudasov's. That defeat a couple of years ago, nearly 8 rounds, as I said, by Traynor, and then he sort of blasted out in a couple 5 years ago. That was against an unbeaten Italian fighter over in Rome. A pretty hard round. They were affording each other a smile that seemed rather good-natured, and that's the way Kudasov has taken it. And then Katochikov kind of rather dismissively put his glove on the top of head and kind of pushed him away, Barry. Got a bit about him, hasn't he?
Again, I think Kudasov came out pretty fast and tried to make an effort to claw it a little bit back, but I think once he got a little bit of rhythm back into it there, Katochikov there, I thought he boxed well in the last stage of that round there.
He kind of put him back in his place.
He did, yeah. And again, it's all that good balance, and with that good balance, he can get leverage on every punch he throws. You're seeing here, even with the doubling up with the left hook, but he don't lean over too far over that front foot. Every shot's in the centre of his stance. He just twists it from the waist. Nice and relaxed with his shots, but there's lots of power in those punches as well, pushing him back. What he needed here was a nice little right uppercut right through the guard.
And he keeps all the punches pretty short. So there you see him trying to work that sort of overhand left, chopping down at it again. Here we are into round 3 then. This one scheduled for 8. He has gone 8 rounds. That was back in Almaty, Kazakhstan, December of 2017. Actually, Katochikov, 4 and 6 rounds his last couple, but he definitely needs the rounds and he needs to be busy.
I wonder if they both understood that. Oi, come here.
I'm not sure.
Behave.
I think they've probably got the message. When he competed as an amateur, Katochikov, he won a couple of medals in tournaments at 60 and 64 kilograms. I wonder what his best fighting weight is going to be. I mentioned Liam Walsh, and you do sense with him that you know, super feather stroke lightweight, I wonder if he'll have the option to go between the pair.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a curse. Because you know, you're tight at super feather, you think you could just make it, and that might drain a bit of your energy and a bit of sprite in your work, but also, you know, at lightweight there you want the guys coming down from bigger weights and giving away a bit of physical advantage as well. So
he's much more composed, Barry. I tell you what, through this third round, that was lovely there. He just put 3-4 punches together, all left hand, stiff jab. He went down left hook to the body, then he brought the left hook upstairs. Really impressive. I think he's just starting to get the measure of this, maybe.
he needs more right hands, straight right hands through the guard, because he can't miss. Every time he throws that right hand straight, it goes right through the guard there for the serves.
Well, there was the jab straight right that Barry was asking for.
Him and Pudasov, see, every now and again he just feints. So when you look at the match forward, he just gives you a little feint. He doesn't do anything after it, but it just stops you from being too adventurous.
Don't think Kotochikov really respects what's coming back at him right now.
Oh, he's boxing well, isn't he? Really is.
Yeah, Pudasov's there. He's right in front of him, and he just keeps almost dipping down on his knees, but staying almost in the same position. There is target there if Kotochikov can find it.
But to be honest, I think Kotochikov is defensively better than what we're seeing tonight. I just feel that, that, as you already said, he has no respect for what's coming back power-wise, so he's happy just to sit there, to be able to take a few and look for the openings in retaliation.
Yeah, I think you could be right. I thought through the first half of that round that he was maybe just going to start to break Pudasov's down. He still might.
But what we've seen here, what Pudasov does, just enough, he rallies, just enough, just to break your rhythm up, just a little bit, those little feints and those little rallies. And there's not much behind those shots maybe, but he finishes with a heavy one, and even though it's not going to knock you out, you feel it, so it'll back you up just a little bit, or make you reset. And he's done his job then, he stopped the flow of momentum, you know, against him.
Into the fourth round then. Viktor Kotochikov in the blue, white and gold, having the second fight of 2019. Signed with MTK in March, and here he is under his new team. New era for him. He has boxed all over the place. I think some sort of continuity in settling down is exactly what he needs. He actually boxed in 6 different countries. Been to Germany, Georgia, Russia, Poland. And here he is in the UK.
That was lovely from him then. He just threw like a 4-punch, 5-punch combination. And the punches, nothing's fantastic about the punches, but the feet were moving in and out as he was throwing. Really clever. Good shot.
Yeah, try to step in with the right hand.
And you mentioned earlier about he shortens the shot. He does it with that right hand. Lifts the elbow, but when he throws the jab, he slides that front foot in and doesn't throw it too long. As you see so often with people, they punch over the top of the head. He just shortens it a little bit. So his judgment of the distance already at this early in his career is already pretty good.
I think I've had sort of massive amateur pedigree.
The problem you get in places like Kazakhstan, you know, it's like Cuba and all these places. It's so hard just to get, you know, out of your district level, let alone internationally, or to win a national title.
Absolutely. Well, everyone in their weight is vying for medals at European, Olympics and World Championships.
Well, in Cuba, they said it was harder to win the Cuban national championships than it was to win an Olympic medal. Back in their golden era. And I think it's pretty much like that in Kazakhstan as well, and other places.
Yeah, very much so. Uzbekistan are very much on the rise in elite amateur boxing too.
Cardiff.
We'll be there soon enough.
Yeah,
another MTK show.
What a show that is.
Is that in June?
June the 1st.
Jay Harris's opportunity. Plenty more to come. Newcastle next weekend, returning to Belfast in May as well. Looking forward to that. Back to the Ulster Hall as well. Oh, nice little body shot.
He's picking his shots really well. I think he got more gears to go through, and he can maybe up the gears slightly, but he's boxing really well. Just working with a nice solid jab.
Just complained there, didn't he, Podisov's? Maybe just the pace starting to get to him a little bit. Not so much the pace, just the accuracy and the shot selection from Katochikov.
Lovely little dip with the shoulders there from Katochikov there, and a lovely right uppercut.
Yeah, I think just slowly but surely he's just chipping away at Podisov's.
And that's what it is. He's so accurate with every punch, isn't he? And again, I think the weight of the shot compared to the first round when he's putting a bit more power behind the punches, I think that's reduced slightly. But there's more fluency in his work, and the jab is pretty solid, and he's banging it out all the time. And you can't miss him with the shot. Again, a good judgment of distance. Just a little skip back. Only half a step. He's not going too far back and having to regroup. There's half a step, so he can counter it if need to be. A little bit low there with the body shot there from Katochikov, but apart from that, he's pretty accurate and pretty neat with all of his work.
I think he's so comfortable in there, a little guilty of holding his feet a couple of times you saw with those replays. Just not too worried about what's coming back. Thankfully, as we move into round 5, that cut that he suffered with a clash of heads at the end of the first round hasn't really worsened any. Managed to get on top of that. Oh, good body shot and another getting through.
The right hand to the chin was a great shot, wasn't it?
And you can actually, Barry, you can see, I know it's sometimes been a bit lax, sort of holding his feet and staying in range, and he's happy to drop his hands and kind of almost weave away from punches. But actually, you can see his footwork when he wants to move away from the shots. He's doing it quite comfortably.
Yeah, but I was saying earlier on, I don't think he needs to dance so much. What he's trying to do, he's trying to get this guy to walk onto that short right hand. And you see it there again, so he just takes a little skip back, makes you come forward, and he chops it right over the top.
Credit Podisov's, he's trying to come forward. I think he realised he's just been picked off. Getting hard for him, a little bit of blood from his nose.
It's good there from Podisov. I like the way he works up the ladder with the shots. Starts with those body shots, swings them in, but finishes with head shots.
You do sense, though, Barry really is having to burst the gut just to do this.
Good shot. Lovely jab.
Definitely getting harder. You can see it. Almost eyes closing with the discomfort and the effort, Podisov's. Oh, good shot.
You know when he feels the shots there, Podisov, because he just goes in that real shell-like defence, doesn't he? Oh, good shot again.
Oh, there's that jab. That is really solid. There, if and when he wants it, Katochikov.
Should double it up now, Katochikov. Nice little screw shot there with the right hand. Just start pushing him back with the jab, and the jab's a solid shot, but if he steps behind it as well, gets a bit more body weight behind the left hand, and double stabs with it, so he pushes him back with it, and then obviously just pushes him back a bit more space there, and he can get...
Yeah, he clipped him. I mean, I'll tell you what, there was one of those shots on the top of the head. He might just have been off balance, but he definitely clipped him with the left hand on the top of the head.
Shot again.
I think he nearly wobbled him again with that right hand. Good end to the round, and a hard round that was for Podisov's. And they're a bit slow in getting the seat out for him to sit down when he needed it.
Again, some lovely shot selections here from Kotochikov. The right uppercut, see it there, used that a few times in that round. And everything beyond the solid jab, the short chopping right hands of his. And again, just nicking the space, good judgment of the distance, lovely balance in his work. Spinning off the target, quite comfortable. And just trying to line up that right hand, trying to catch Podisov's coming forward. Not quite coming off that, but apart from that, it's weird. It was like he did get clipped on top of the head, wasn't it? A little delayed reaction, it seemed.
Yeah, I think that was a knockdown, Barry. There was two left hands. There was one that he kind of stumbled into the ropes, and as he stumbled into the ropes, he clipped him again on the top of the head. I think that was a knockdown. But no matter, it is further evidence, I think, that Podisov is kind of getting to the end of his tether, and I think slowly but surely this Viktor Kotochikov is starting to break him down. Oh, he hit him again there with the right hand, and he might just be about to step onto him here, Kotochikov.
Yeah, and this is the sort of thing we want to see, and you get a lot of these European fighters with technically gifted they are, or solid hitters, and usually both. It's the lack of injection of pace. They can't go through the gears quick enough, and he just showed there that it's in him to do it. And
he keeps trying. It's in his armory, that sort of left hand.
And it's because they're regimental. They're taught from a young age. You just do this, do this, do this. Don't detract or defer from anything but what you're told what to do. And you go through the basics, and they do it very, very well. But what you need, especially when you go up to the higher levels, you need that injection of pace in your work. You need to be able to go through the gears quickly.
Well, Podisov was eventually pulled out by his corner in round 8. Last time he was over in these parts, up in Scotland, up in Aberdeen. You do sense that a similar fate it might be unfolding here.
Good there from Kotochikov there. And didn't throw any punches, just moved him back with the feet then.
Everything that lands now looks pretty solid. And he's backing off. There's not that much coming back from Podisov's now.
Really, jab's a proper sickener as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You didn't see it so much early on, Barry, but actually as the fight's getting harder for Podisov, that is when he's brought it into play.
Got away for the chest there. When you got the upper body movement, the head movement like that, Kotochikov needs a nice little solid right hand to the chest.
And there's an efficiency about his style. He's never loading up with anything. The shots are nice and short and neat and accurate, and I think because of that, he's got a style that there's no doubt he's going to. I think he'll have no problems at all when they're stepping him up in distance. Starting to go to the body in this round as well.
He was trying to do a Lomachenko. They wanted to just pull the hand down with the left glove and whiz the right hand over the top.
Marked around the right eye now, Podisov's face rather puffy and painful. Deep breath, Podisov's, as he kind of stutters back to his corner. That's a couple of big rounds, heavy rounds.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's another really hard round there for Podisov, isn't it? And you've got to start thinking, even though you want your fighter to see the final bell, and obviously for the fighter like him where he needs to work as often as he can, but you've got to be thinking about the long-term effects of just taking damaging punches constantly like this. And he's getting the last few rounds, especially, he's been a bit of a turnover, hasn't it? Bit of a beating. Slow, well not so slow in that round, but a methodical, hard beating. Even that left-hand jab there of Kotochikov is a solid, real solid shot.
Into round 7, scheduled for 8. Plenty to like about Viktor Kotochikov on his MTK IFL YouTube debut. I think it's fair to say, Barry, we've liked what we've seen so far.
It's really good to watch, isn't he? And again, it's because you like a neat boxer like this. You've got lovely balance. Every shot's a solid shot. Instead, you haven't loaded up with anything, and I think there's more power to come. But every shot's a hard shot. He's accurate with his work. But he's easy to watch, easy on the eye, isn't he?
Yeah, very much so. I think quite a few times when he's landing the right hand, it is being cushioned on the left glove by Podisovs, but it's still having an effect.
Now, Podisovs is just an exceptionally tough kid. But some of these shots, even though they're not knockout punches, they're punches to make you want to quit, to make you wilt.
Still trying to throw, Podisovs.
But he's also been easy to hit, and whether that, we're just taking it for granted that it is because he has no respect for Podisov's power. But we'll see if it's back. We talk about all the time about picking up habits, good habits, bad habits. And you've got to be careful that being easy to hit, too easy to hit, and dropping your hands in range doesn't become a bad habit to have.
Yeah, that's a good point. There are loads to like.
Well, it really is.
Fair play, Podisovs, because he's been on the receiving end of some heavy shots, and it's sustained variety over the last 2-3 rounds, and he has come out first 2 minutes of this round probably thrown more than he has in the previous 2 or 3.
Oh, he's game as they come, and I think that's ultimately going to be his downfall in some fights, because he's too game for his own good. Shots.
Yeah, another body shot from Katochigov.
But then just stands in front of Podisovs, then has to take a couple of shots back there, just switching off in range.
To be fair to him, Barry, he's actually tried to go through the gears, hasn't he? The last sort of 2 or 3 rounds, he really has sort of stepped it up noticeably bit by bit.
Just took a lovely right hand there off Podisovs there, lovely right hand from him.
I suppose this round for
good left hook.
Fair play, Podisovs, fair play to him. He has a little chat with the referee. I don't know if the referee went over in between rounds and maybe just said, I need you to be doing a bit more, because there was just a conversation there between Podisovs and the referee at the end of that round, as if he sort of smiled Podisovs, as if to say, how do you like that? How do you like them apples?
Do you want to come and work in my corner? What are you doing? What are you doing next week?
Can you give me a bit of help here, pal? But whatever, that was a good response for him. Fair play. I wasn't sure he had that in his locker.
Well, he had a few really hard rounds, didn't he? And it looked like maybe he's not feeling sorry for himself, but starting to just feel the pressure, and he looked more vulnerable as the rounds were going on. But yeah, again, showing how tough he is. We've seen that in the past, where he just bites down on that gum shield and fights back. And again, nothing damaging his shots, but it was enough just to thaw the attack here.
And it kind of bought him some time, didn't it? And what it did is it brought the finishing line in sight, whereas it appeared on the horizon previously. So we're into the 8th round, which certainly I was wondering and doubting about a few rounds back. I think Podisovs has come here in really good shape too. I think he needed to be. Still Podisovs trying to swing away.
But Katochigov there, lovely upper body movement though, to make it miss with a couple of shots and fire back with the right hand. he looks full of energy, Kotochikov, but he's just reeled in the shots, but hasn't he? Hasn't been as busy the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just because the output of Podisov has just been enough.
But he should be throwing with him. You know, if he's felt the power and you know, as we suspect, you know, happy to take some of those shots, he should be firing back with him. That's where the gaps are appearing for him then. If you feel like if you're the bigger puncher, if you think you are, and you feel like the guy can't hurt you, then you know I think you take that gamble and throw when he's throwing. But also at the same breath, you're winning a fight quite comfortable. There's no gamble needs to be taken.
Well, I suppose it just looked like he was, you know, a bit like a plane taking off. He was just getting better and stronger and going through the repertoire. And I think through the sort of 4th, 5th and 6th rounds, you were sensing there might just be a sort of climax in the performance. But credit Podisov's in the 7th and now in the 8th round. There's a lot of resistance.
Again, Kotochikov just can't miss him with that right hand. Every time he lets it go.
And again, in this closing seconds, Podisov's starting to look a bit weary. This was a reminder to Kotochikov how tough the game is as he's making his way through the early stages of his career. Loads to like. The first 6 rounds I thought he was terrific, and the 4th, 5th and 6th I thought he was excellent. Just a shame that there wasn't that kind of crowning end to the performance.
Yeah, it doesn't take the shine off what was a really good performance from him. All it just highlights ever so slightly is like I said, a lot of Eastern European based fighters, they just lack that injection of pace. You know, they're methodical in their work, or they're very structured, very rigid, very disciplined in what they do, and that's a massive bonus and a massive plus. But also sometimes when you have a chance to step on the gas and get that show reel finish, they maybe get a fight finished early, they still take that cautious route of doing everything route one, everything painting by numbers, if you like, boxing by numbers, and that's pretty much what he did. But every shot he threw was a decent shot. Almost every shot he threw was accurate. You know, some of those chopping right hands, especially those Golovkin-esque type left hooks, didn't quite come off for him, but everything else was pretty good. And you know, for a young kid, still under 10 fights, that's a pretty good performance.
And here we are, York Hall, we've got the flags of Kazakhstan and Latvia. How international this game has become. Let's get confirmation of it now with Terry.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both these fighters. They have put on a great show for us. After 8 great rounds, we go to the scorecards. Referee scores the bout 79 points to 74 in favor of your winner, Viktor K. And please hold your applause for Andreas Podisov.
5 points in the end, the difference. That gives credit to Podisov's and what he put into it. I think particularly at the end there, around 7 and 8, which they may well have appreciated. And that just staved off the threat. And it was a particularly serious threat of a stoppage for Viktor